Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Renowned Explorers. I came at that with a little bit more force there, hello viewers, than I intended to. Yeah, the Emerged Island. I think this is the right call. I actually was going back and forth a little bit about this while setting up the recording, because I kind of want to take this team to the archipelago. We wouldn't be great against the encounters, but we have some rogue, and if I remember correctly, rogue merciless is particularly good here. And we have archaeologist. And we need gold and status more than we need gold and study. Our research paper situation is kind of not great. I don't expect to get a huge amount of benefit from the study that we get out of here. But really, I think we are so much better suited to completing the encounters on the Emerged Island that it's probably the way to go. And we're going to get lots of gold going to either, so... Here's hoping that I picked the right one. Alright. After a turbulent voyage, we arrive at the recently emerged island. The ground is still a bit wet and smells like rotting fish, which is gross. You haven't even taken your first steps when you hear the sound of drums. You think you have time to make a plan, but then, without warning, a pair of blow darts flies toward Hatij, is more, apparently, how this is pronounced. Thank you to commenter James Willie for pointing out that I was not doing that right. It's something closer to Hatij. I'm going to say Hatij, and hopefully that's close enough. A couple of voodoo pirates come running out of the jungle. So they blow-darted Hatija, which is not a big deal for us, actually. She loses her ability to do speech attacks, and then we shoot people with arrows, so... Speaking of shooting people with arrows, what is going to be our best angle? It looks to me like we can hit 3 people this way. She really doesn't do a lot of damage to those first ones. But this will be a good way to set up our attitude. And then I want to run you down here, drop the speech defense on these guys, and we probably can just stun both of them. And then, what are you actually weak against? Satin? I think we might be able to drop this dude from fall. And I think I would rather do it to him than to her. Because I think as a party, these guys just do more damage, I believe. She has 35 attack. Well, we certainly don't have very much health left to get through. Yeah, I don't know why, but these guys just are not dangerous. It seems like they could do meaningful attacks, and they just sort of choose not to. They will occasionally blow dart somebody in your party and silence them, much the same way that happened during the event here. I've seen that once or twice, but for the most part, you can ignore the blowguns. But these dudes with the swords will hack you up. Okay, that was easy enough. I have to say, this party is actually crazy powerful in combat. We haven't really used our abilities that much because we've been able to just kind of blow through a lot of these combats through sheer brute force on our normal attacks. But the combination of the AoE stun and what should be actually pretty good damage off of experimentation, and of course the incredible value of piercing shot with Hatija's very high damage, and man, this is a very good... All this, though, is kind of making me think maybe we could have gotten through the Anagogic Archipelago through brute force. Ah well, whatever. The voodoo pirates are scared and apologize for being so aggressive. When you ask them what this place is and what they're doing on this island, they shiver with fear. It doesn't matter what you pick here. The result is always the same. You don't get anything out of it. They run back into the jungle. Horrible, horrible curses upon them. Alright, so let's get paid. This is a pretty good expedition, all told, for treasures. There's a lot of treasure available, and a lot of it's pretty good. The sea around is very volatile. All kinds of valuable pieces of coral are beaching with the incoming waves. Also, I mean, some of this coral could have just been sitting on the island when it raised out of the ocean. Notice a wild deer with beautiful antlers in the woods. You sneak closer, but then, out of nowhere, the deer falls. As you walk toward the deer to see what has happened, a group of voodoo pirates come to collect their prize. Hey, that's my deer. I saw it. I probably didn't see it first, but I saw it, and that's what matters to me. I don't care if it matters to you. Oh, I didn't mention. We've picked up Maria's final ability here, Heart Play. If you are aggressive, it's a not very strong attack. It is a speech attack that has no emotion attached to it, which is unusual, and sometimes can be really beneficial if you're facing somebody who's strong against a lot of the friendly emotions. But if you're devious, or if you're aggressive, it's a devious attack instead, and it hits twice and stuns the target. So, pretty powerful in an aggressive party, and just kind of not useful otherwise. So do I want to start off... I probably don't want to start off with the piercing shot, right? Yeah, because it just doesn't do enough damage. We can actually bring down several of these people. So you're weak to Sadden, you're weak to Enrage, which we sadly do not have access to. Alright, if I run Maria over here... Oh no, the speech defense reduction aura does not quite guarantee had us a one-shot on that guy. It's fine. She'll be fine. Everything's fine. So I can probably just stun these two, right? Yeah. Let's do that. We don't ever have to take a hit we don't want to take ever again, basically. Alright, there's some chance that Hatij will, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Some chance that Hatij will vary her damage high enough to get a one-shot on that, and there it is. So you are not close to being able to take him down. We can do this. I appreciate that he says Yar, so you don't forget he's a pirate. Well, between the two of them, they'll get there. So I'll throw out a Seduce. Just to soften her up so that the Terrify can take effect. Yeah, it's pretty weird. Although, to be perfectly honest, I've always found Seduction kind of terrifying in itself. You bully the voodoo pirates away and are left with the deer. You take its antlers to sell later. Great. It doesn't seem like those should be worth that much, especially considering the kinds of things we are usually dealing with. Alright, you see a large and royally decorated voodoo hut. This place has an extremely weird vibe. There's even a shrunken head above the door. You knock on the door, but no one seems to be home at the moment. You have a feeling there's something special here. Okay, I am not going to try to force my way in, because I have been here before, and I know that that is not a good idea. I think the deal is you're supposed to try to come to this node when you have exactly 7 supplies, and I know that that sounds weird. Just trust me, I'm pretty sure that that's real. Anna takes out her taser again and smiles gleefully at Hatij. Hatij knows what this means. Learning time. I feel like there should be quotation marks around learning, maybe. Alright, let's see if she's memorized the book well enough. Now this time we can pass on an engineer perk, and it will make her a level 6 engineer. So I think that's a pretty much a no-brainer over a discovery token. Alright. Really, does she keep teaching her until... I thought it was, most of the crew stories happen... they do something special right when you play them right, and then something special in the 2 expeditions after. I guess maybe this one keeps going. But in any case, we now have a level 6 engineer on crew, and that's usually enough to get stuff done. Yeah, okay. Let's go get the supplies. How fortunate. You see an old crate with some supplies. Well, that was easy enough. And then go here, because you know how I feel about zero-cost travel paths. As you walk through a dark, swampy jungle, you hear scary chanting and people dancing. Yep, we've seen this before. As you get closer, you see voodoo pirates dancing and singing around a campfire. A bird in a cage is being put on a pole. While the voodoo pirates dance around the bird, one of the pirates is reading spells from a spell book. I really don't love the way that the musical cues like play over each other. Like that musical cue for this event just plays over the normal zone music, and sometimes can get a little cacophonous. Yeah, so they read spells from a spell book, and the bird goes berserk and changes into a voodoo bird. That was both scary and informative. So you can interfere with their ritual, and you don't get the discovery token here, but you get a different treasure, if I remember correctly. I think we want to try to just study the ritual and get that. So now they bring up a new recruit, a casual smuggler, and tie him to the post. He looks incredibly nervous after seeing what happened to the bird. we're just going to watch. We're just going to let them turn this guy into a voodoo pirate, which is kind of horrific. I have one tool. Let's just take the roll. I think that I'm not totally heartbroken if this fails, so... Maria studies the ritual and carefully documents the transformation from a casual smuggler to voodoo pirate, and the ritual that causes it. It does seem kind of crazy. Once the ritual's over, everyone, including the new recruit, leaves the area, and then we steal their voodoo doll. It's not bad, you know? It's a fine treasure. Ooh. Take 2 treasure hunt over 8, collect any day. Sorry, not any day, but definitely this day. Today. Yeah. How are we doing on XP? Okay. We definitely need to hit a lot of encounters here. The crew walks toward the shoreline, happy to be out of this remarkable but oppressive jungle for a moment. Then Hatice stands still. There's a weird noise coming from down under her feet. We know what this is all about. Alright. I think that our crew should be pretty good at handling giant crabs. The last crew we took here wasn't so good at going aggressive, and that made the crabs more difficult than they had to be, I think. So we just want to make a crab sad and then shoot him with an arrow, basically. This is going to be the plan. Actually, maybe what we want to do here is make one crab sad, terrify the other, and then shoot them both with arrows. Right, because this drops their armor significantly. Yeah, 90 armor down. Down to 10, which is an unusually low defense for enemies at this level, but also maybe I should just stun these two. They only have 2 move. That's right, when they're not enraged, they're actually very slow. And I'm pretty sure if you afflict them with any of the 3 devious aligned emotions, yeah, they get enraged. And then we can just have her run over to here, maybe? I might be able to line this up. Okay, well, she can't actually finish both of them off, but this is a good start. This one is going to pinch somebody pretty hard, though. Or maybe he's going to miss. Nope, he just hit her really hard. So I think what I want to do here is, let's make sure we finish this guy off, but also I'm going to do it from a safe distance. Because obviously we're going to upset at least one of the other crabs, and I don't want it to be able to come over and kill her. I mean, it's Renowned Explorers. Nobody dies, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I think we should be able to take this guy down. I'm hoping. Yeah, she left him with only like 20 health. I kind of love Anna. I wonder if there's a third mad scientist that could accompany Anna and Wang Yu in a horrific mad scientist themed team. We got much worse damage that time. Yeah, we're not quite going to be able to finish this guy off. And I don't want to finish him aggressive because I don't... Well, you know what? It's probably fine. We won't tip our dominant attitude, or our current attitude, over to aggressive by doing this. So yeah, we still finish devious. Still get all of our bonus tokens. Ah, those crabs were jerks for ambushing you from under the sand. But your crew made a clue who the real jerks are. I'm pretty sure I didn't say that right. Anna's investment lessons with Hatice are going great. Anna's learned how to make use of supply and demand and to look for exciting technologies. There was also some talk about corporate synergy, paradigm shifting, and agile management philosophies, but that was all rather incomprehensible. What will be the next step for this profit-making pair? Hey, listen, I've been in those meetings. You see a red mask lying on the ground with a giant scar right down the middle. The mask suddenly starts talking. Okay, it wants to teach somebody the island's art of battle. Well, Anna's attack could really use a little bit of love, and it would make experimentation a lot more useful. But we use that line attack like literally every battle. Yeah, let's buff up Anna a little bit. Anna puts on the red mask, whose eyes light up. You hear the mask talking to Anna in a strange language. After about 10 seconds, its eyes return to normal and it drops on the ground. Okay, well hey, free encounter tokens. So obviously we're going to wind our way back around here. Oh hey, the beautiful green crystal. Once again, I forgot about the crystals. Have I... Yeah, this node actually might be important. Oops. That's fine, we don't need competence. Alright, so this is 20 collect and 20 study tokens. That would basically guarantee us the 2 points of insight, wouldn't it? We also could take +5 speech and +2 campaign tokens whenever Hottage succeeds on the adventure wheel. And this probably will be slightly better. It will be slightly more tokens during the final expedition, because I'm sure we'll find a way to add some more engineer on. But I actually want to take advantage of these tokens rather than using them just for score. So let's do this. The crew feels inspired. Hottage and Maria have been discussing technological possibilities all day. Topics like combustion, electrics, and automata are debated with vigor. When the crew combines their efforts at night to create something new and useful, the results reflect their expertise. Yeah, 40 tokens is not a bad pull from a campfire card. I don't feel bad about that at all. I'm still pretty bummed, honestly, that I didn't manage to get the tokens, or the insight points from the last expedition. Okay, I hate this, but we really should go to this node in case the blue crystal is here. And it was! Alright, we found 2 similar crystals now. So now we just have to find the gold crystal, which totally might be that node. Alright, as you walk through a wooded area, you're suddenly face to face with a strange voodoo pirate. You are both surprised to see one another, but you see that he is not alone. He has 2 pet monkeys. You both sense you cannot leave here as things are. I don't know, I think we could probably all just walk away. Just walk away. Alright. Weak against Sadden. Not weak against anything in particular, but no defenses. So obviously Maria stands right here and hits everybody with her aura, and then we can stun 2 of them out pretty easily, but I think we also can just drop a couple of them. Save the stun maybe for next turn when the other monkeys come running in. I mean, maybe I should just do it though. Actually, I should have moved Hottage over to the east a little bit, because she's probably in range of these monkeys, isn't she? Yeah, that was a tactical error. So we'll do this. It will defeat one of them, and it will stun the other. And I've just allowed us to take a bunch of damage for no reason, basically, because I am a fool. Okay, well, at least we're not getting horribly punished, because I don't think he'll be able to take her down. Yeah. Ah, but now she's sad, and she didn't have to be. Well, it looks like it's not going to matter. She's still going to be able to get stuff done. If you shot an arrow, it would stick in a tree and also be limp. Are we actually still talking about arrows? I don't know what we're doing here. Alright. I did the Sadden on this monkey just in case. Just in case it wasn't enough to finish him off so that Anna could contribute. Yeah, you better run. This monkey may be leaving here humiliated, but not before he talks about how people's underwear smell. It seems like a lot of the animals in this game have a lot of things to say about the smell of people's crotch regions. I guess that makes sense, right? Animals do seem to be very interested in that sort of thing in the real world. The voodoo pirate smiles and bows, and his monkeys do the same. He apologizes that he has no time for a chat, but he won't alert the others. Okay, I guess he respects our cruelty. So, experimentation gains plus 25% power when one of the targets is terrified, or plus 25% of Anna's speech power is added to experimentation's damage. Well, I don't think that there is any question here. Man, another... I hate paying 2 supplies to to travel to new nodes. An old crate in the middle of a large slimy puddle. We're wagering 2 supplies on a treasure hunt against a resolve here. I know 64% is a pretty good chance already, but I think this might be a good time to pop a tool. I don't think we're going to need the tool for any particularly difficult checks. I can't think of... Wow. Well, that sucks. At least you don't lose the tool if you tool a roll and then still fail it. Anna tries to reach the crate, but it gets stuck. But she gets stuck. It takes some time before she's free again. Oh, bummer. I really needed those supplies, man. Alright, so we're going to wind our way back around to here, like I said. That is Crab Lagoon, right? As you walk through the darkness of the night, you see some glowing plants. You try to pick them, but they're spectral. What a rare find. Anna thinks for a moment and comes up with a way of picking up the plant. It won't survive for long, but long enough to conduct a little more research. Okay, a couple extra tokens. Not too shabby. Wait, is that the crabs? Huh. I think that's the crabs. It looks a little odd. While walking through the Caribbean jungle, the crew finds a place filled with coral. Yeah, well, we know a thing or two about coral, don't we? The research led by Anna yields some very interesting conclusions about the origin and the characteristics of the coral. Yeah, so we really, really have to get supplies from this node, and then also from many other nearby nodes. Yeah, these sleeping voodoo pirates, we need to steal their supplies. Fortunately, we have some levels of rogue. 4 supplies, that is lovely. And you can see here that she's not actually getting that much of a bonus because she's not that much of a rogue. But you really can brute force a lot of checks just with stats. And there's basically always one of the defensive stats used on a check. So scouts tend to be pretty good at this because of the fact that boots will give you a reasonable amount of all of the defenses. Alright, how to successfully steal some of the pirates' supplies. Alright, so we have 5 supplies. I mean, I really can't get to this node. If this node has the yellow crystal at it, which I'm starting to become concerned that it does, I screwed up real bad, basically. A group of voodoo monkeys is blocking the road. You've waited for a while, but they're not moving, and there's no way around. Why are voodoo monkeys so mean-spirited? What is it about voodoo? Because obviously, the voodoo that this game is talking about has nothing to do with the thing that we in the real world call voodoo. So what is the deal with this stuff, and why do monkeys hate having it applied to them so much? Maybe it's just makeup? Because they all look like this, right? All the voodoo pirates and everything. Maybe it's just a style of makeup, and the monkeys really don't care for the makeup. I haven't had makeup on my face a lot in my life, but on the few occasions where I have, I did find it very unpleasant. This is like, the monkeys are totally bummed out. Also, it's all on their tails. That's probably gross. I haven't had makeup on my hair a lot either, but I imagine makeup on your fur probably sucks. It's probably a real bummer at the very least. Oh man, and I can't move very far. I was hoping to be able to stun 2 of them, but no such luck. So what can she do here? She can stun 1. She can throw out experimentation and hit all 3 of them, actually. That's probably the way to go. Wow, okay, it dropped 2 of them. That is not what I was expecting. That's not good. Uh-oh. There's no way we're gonna... Shoot. Yeah, defeating 2 of them may have made it impossible. Yeah, it did, in fact. Make it impossible for me to finish Devious. I didn't think it was going to do that. I needed 2 of them to still be up so that we could hit 2 Devious attacks and switch our current attitude back to Devious. Well, crud. Alright, there's a clearing in the middle of the forest. You first assumed it's a natural clearing, but Anna notices that it's actually the place where a village must once have been. Excavating here could reveal research. Well, let's hope it does. I have failed a 96% roll already this game. This would be a really bad time for that to happen. Okay. Soon enough, old foundations and items are uncovered. What a discovery. I mean, it wasn't that much of a discovery. The unique ecology of the merged island makes it an interesting subject of biological study, and because Anna is a level 4 naturalist, you know it's there, but the crew is always surprised by how bright Anna is. With just a few minutes worth of examination, Anna discovers a set of unique snails. Impressive. A bit gross, but impressive. Yeah, there's something about snails, right? This is just it's a little unsettling. Ooh, weird. I'll take that. Okay. Time for this thing. Yeah, this is the crabs. Oh, you know what? There's a tough crab. There's a tough check in the mangrove, isn't there? I should have saved the tool for that. Oh, I did save the tool for that by failing the other check. Alright. Apparently, Maria has had a bad experience in the past with crabs. I wonder... that might be a different thing than it appears to be. Crabs? What's wrong with crabs? Maria explains her hate for the shelled menaces. Often when Maria was having a party in Argentina, these annoying buggers would show up and ruin all the fun. You never knew where they came from. The more people at the party, the more likely they were to show up. Crabs are jerks. Or they just want a party. Did we consider that, even? Alright. Anna, being a naturalist, has a 115% chance to pass this check. Wait a minute. There is most certainly some impressive life form present in these mangroves. Anna follows the clues in a curious frenzy while the crew is having a hard time keeping up with her. This is, I think, something that we should be pretty good at doing. The fight against the crabs, I mean. Alright, I'm going to tool this, because that's a pretty serious penalty for failure. Anna's little treasure hunt leads you to a very, very murky area of the mangrove with a strong current. It's gross, it's tough to go through, and you'll have a very hard time taking all your supplies with you. It's fine. Anna is super buff. She's got this. Plus, every time she shows off how buff she is, we get a free treasure hunt, so... Anna smells like the London sewers and is absolutely disgusted, but she managed to carry everything to a more traversable area. Then the crew arrives at a place that should have been pristine, except everything's ruined, because it turns out Maria was right. Crabs suck. Out of the blue, a group of monsters emerges from the mud. Crabs. One of them is obviously the king. Of course, these crabs must have crabbed all over the place. Typical crab behavior. Alright, let's do it. Like I was saying, I think we should actually be pretty good at this. We do not, unfortunately, have any way to lower armor, aside from the enraged debuff, you know. But I think we should be able to clean the crabs up a lot more easily than the last party was able to, because we have some good physical damage. So, what we enrage? A crab. We have to be careful about leaving crabs enraged during the enemy turn, because the boss crab is kind of terrifying. And I don't actually have that much resolve. So, like, we can do this, right? And then we can put him away. Okay, none of the King Crab's bros are provoked any longer. So what do we do now? I could just hit him with a physical attack, but doing so will swap us over into physical. Maybe that's fine? Yeah, actually, no, that's fine. Because I think we're only going to get hit by one attack on the coming turn. So we don't necessarily need the plus 25 grit. Right, because this guy only has 2 move, and this guy only 3 when not enraged. So yeah, we'll just tank this crab's attack, which shouldn't be too bad. And then on our turn, we'll be able to take advantage of the bonus devious damage. Yeah, 18. That's not even a big deal. Alright, let's figure this out. So, when he's enraged, how are we going to do this? Because do I want to attack the one that's already injured? That's probably fine. Okay, so now we have the ability to take this one down. Putting us, if we do it with a devious attack from Anna, it'll put us into devious and give us all that grit. But we can fire off a shot on this guy while we're... Oof. He's got so much health. Okay, so this actually will be more powerful than our basic attack next turn. And I think firing a single aggressive attack shouldn't peel our point of deviousness off. If it finished an enemy off, it would. But I think, yeah, I think we can pepper him with arrows here. Oh, no, it did. That's not great. Okay, but we defeat this guy, causing the king crab to return to normal, and then pass the turn. Unfortunately, he does get to attack this turn, and he hits harder than the normal crabs do. And we can do basically the same thing again next turn if we want. Oof. Yeah, he hits pretty hard. We don't have good defenses. So we've gotten away with a lot of stuff without having to have good defenses, basically. Alright, so let's enrage this crab. I think we're going to lose some resolve here. But we are picking up some grit. Oh my god. Stop animating, let me do stuff. Yeah, so we have access to that. I'm wondering if throwing a Terrify on him is a good idea. We can't quite hit them both with Experiment. The thing is, if I do the line shot to defeat that crab, that'll be 2 pips of aggressive by itself. So if we also do an aggressive attack with Anna, we won't have our bonus grit. And I think we really want to have that bonus grit. So let's lower his attack damage. I'm booting a lot of damage by doing that, but hopefully it will keep us safe here. Okay, so we calm him down again, and... Oh no! Oh, they spawned right next to us. I was hoping that we would get lucky and they would spawn all the way across the map. We've not even done 100 damage to him. Okay, now we do still have the stun, although they are lined up with the terrain in such a way that I'm not sure I can hit them both. Yeah, this is really inconvenient. How do we do this? Through their armor, we do basically no damage. I can maybe defeat both of them this turn, have Maria come over here, sadden one, have Hattage sadden the other, or Hattage sadden the other, and then drop a great big experimentation on them while their armor's low. But that doesn't actually help me defeat the king crab, and he still does damage to us that turn. My other option is we could back off while we could do a fighting retreat to the east, give each other some heals, and also just shoot at him. He has 150 armor, though. Now we have to get him angry. I think I might just have to do the thing I was doing before, which unfortunately is absolutely, for sure, going to result in some resolve loss. Okay. Frustratingly, using a devious attack did not peel any of our points of aggression. So if I attack with Hattage here, she's going to swap us over into aggressive stance. And we have to do it, though. We have to keep hitting. There's no way I can, clip just the edge of both of the circles? Oh, I can! Oh, but that won't actually do anything. So it'll finish this guy off, but it will mean this guy is in a devious stance, and so this guy will stay enraged. But if I did that, we can only be attacked once, so we will lose at most one person. And we'd still be able to get 2 real attacks off. You know what? I'm going to do it. So the king crab is going to down somebody, probably. He might go after Hatice and miss. But let's assume he downs somebody. So next turn we can get that person back up, and then we have 2 real attacks on the king crab. A final group of crabs joined the battle. Oh! A final group. So wait, he doesn't get endless reinforcements? This is it? That would actually be really great for us. And also, everything about the plan went as well as it possibly could have. Oh, that's right. They're not weak to our speech stuff anymore when they're enraged. We can't one-shot that guy anymore. Oh, I can with experimentation. I'm trying to figure out what the best play is here. I'd really like it if Maria could finish this off, because I really want Anna to run over here and deal with Crabman. Oh, I can heart play this guy. Okay, let's do that, but obviously not first, because we want to deal damage. So there's no particular reason Hatice needs to stay over there. I think we're still pretty likely to lose a point of resolve here, given our health levels, but we might be able to keep it to just the 1 point. I'm going to go ahead and get experimentation on cooldown. So that's left him with 46 health. Okay. And heart play should finish this guy off. And even if it didn't, it would stun him, so... Okay, so he's no longer enraged. Still, if he hits Anna, he'll down her, but... It's not too bad, really. He's going for Maria. Yeah, it's not a big deal. Now, the real question is... Do I think I can get 46 damage onto him with devious attacks? He is pretty tough. The answer is no, I don't think I can. So I guess the second question is it worth the risk to try to get the extra tokens? Because if I go for this, he has a chance of taking another point of resolve off of us. Although, actually, we don't have another option. Yeah, never mind. I don't know what I'm thinking. Devious attacks are going to do more damage than aggressive attacks right now, because without the ability to enrage one of his bros, we actually can't get through the 150 armor. So I guess we'll just do this. We might actually be able to finish this fight devious. In fact, we might have no choice. Because at the rate unenraged crabs move, these guys are going to get over to us sometime around the heat death of the universe. Okay, he did not go for Anna. So good news for us. We get to finish him off devious, and we get to keep our 3 points of resolve. Not that I mean to imply that 3 points of resolve is an impressive value or anything. Okay. We done broke their minds. Alright, yeah, we caused the king crab to have a heart attack with our meanness. That's what happens if you lead an angry life on a diet of fatty shrimp. Okay, well, king crab for us. So, +1 treasure hunt for each 5 encounter tokens you have is 4 more treasure hunts. Or we could pick up 21 more collect tokens. I think we want to take 4 treasure hunts over 20 collect tokens. A treasure hunt gives as much gold as 5... Yeah, so this... Yeah, the 5 treasure hunts is as much gold as 20 collect tokens, but it's also other resources. In particular, status, which we need. Alright, that sure was a weird adventure. The crew feels like they suffered a bit more than normal in these mangroves. Maria reflects on her disgust for crabs. Maria's disgust for the ocean jerks got confirmed today. This will forever remind Maria that wherever she's having a party, she better be prepared and party safe. The best way to beat crabs is to avoid them altogether. Yeah, I think the joke is pretty much confirmed at this point. It seems to have permanently boosted Maria's speech defense, so that's cool. So, +10 speech while you're friendly, or sadden is sadden +1 times 1.5. This is pretty obvious for us, but obviously it should be easy for anyone to see that those are both fantastic. Maria's just an incredibly good character. Very, very strong. Okay, I think, unfortunately, we better head to the exit. We are not going to get the clear crystal, because I'm a bad. You know, it happens. Sometimes, in life, you are a bad. And if you're me, it's frequent. You stumble upon a stone with carved with some symbols. If someone could translate what is written on it, you could decide if it has any kind of value. Well... Okay, so Hattis is the only person who needs XP. We're well over our... Actually, we're not well... We are just barely over our collect token threshold. Man, I'm glad I took all those... I'm glad I took that campfire card. I'm wondering if maybe we should have Hattis roll for this, because the payout from this particular check is... It's good, but it's not crazy high, and this would allow Hattis to be max level before the boss fight. Although I guess her max level stuff's not going to be super relevant during the boss fight, because we can't physical damage the boss anyway. Yeah, let's just take the payout then. She'll get her max level from the boss fight. Maria puzzles a bit over the symbols and eventually comes to a conclusion. The stone describes how the villagers on this island got scared and left after voodoo rituals had been performed. This stone does have value. Again, I'm pretty sure voodoo here just means face painting. Oh no! That is, I think, the worst hunger penalty we could have pulled. Minus 30% speech. Oh... That's really, really bad, especially since we're about to fight a boss that is entirely speech-focused. Alright, let's go fight the ghost pirate Captain Roche. You quietly sneak into his camp where you hear a loud voice talking. As you get closer, you hear Captain Roche giving a speech to a giant group of voodoo pirates. We heard this speech very recently. We're just going to shoot through this. So I think we're going to be best suited with the violent distraction, because it employs engineering. So let's set up some gunpowder kegs and blow the place up. An enormous bang, followed by a mushroom cloud, wipes out much of the camp, and many of the voodoo pirates turn to strange purple smoke. Weird. Alright, so Captain Roche sees us. He's angry. We insult him, and then we fight. So, the clear crystal, which is made of all the smaller crystals, would potentially have allowed us to fight him physically. And to be perfectly honest, if I had gotten my stuff together and gotten the clear crystal, I might have gone for that over keeping the crystal itself as a treasure. Because our party really is pretty good at physical combat. Unfortunately, that's not where we ended up. He's weak against one thing that we don't have any of, and one thing that we only have a very poor version of. So we're just going to have to make it through 300 health. But he does only have 15 speech defense. Man. With Maria not having her full speech amount, though, it really, really hurts. So let's open with a Sadden. Actually, that was a mistake. Oh, I forgot that we had double Sadden. I was gonna say, leaving him, I planned to leave him with low health, thinking, oh, we'll just shoot him. But if I had done that, it actually would have been 1 pip for the shot plus 1 for each of the defeated enemies. It would have switched us to aggressive, and that would actually be pretty bad. We do not want to be aggressive on their turn. Well, I moved Hattis. I guess we can still take the shot, like... Yeah. It's not a totally optimal use of piercing shot, but I moved before having a full plan, and this is the price we pay for that. Hey, I saw that. Opponent reinforcements arrived in the middle of the area. Is he alone? He is alone. But traditionally they appear on the edges of the level. That's how that is supposed to work. He's weak to Sadden. Can she just take him down? Maybe. Oh. You suck. You know what, I'll just eat the damage. I'll let him attack. I'm not gonna divert for that. Alright. Now, even with our numbers being pretty bad now, since with the speech defense penalty, I think actually we're still we're still in an okay place here. We have a lot of damage. Speech and a half is definitely going to help. Saddened and a half. And he can only do that AoE attack once every couple of turns. Although, unfortunately, we are motivated to have Maria adjacent to him, and Anna has to be adjacent to him to hit him. What's going to be the best way to deal with this? Unfortunately, there's no chance of hitting them both with the Strike of Fear. Actually, maybe. If Anna moves to here, can she hit them both? No, not even close. It wouldn't stun Roche, but it would still do some damage. I'm just trying to figure out a way of taking this guy out that doesn't mean we spent a whole attack on a guy who has 2 health, but I guess there's no way around it. So let's have Anna do that. Again, I'm trying to create a separation here so that he can't AoE multiple of us down. And they can horrify us, but that's not necessarily going to be good enough. Okay, she should probably have opened with a Seduce, honestly. I screwed up. Because if she had done Seduce on the first turn, we would have gotten a couple of attacks off during the Impress. We would have gotten some bonus damage there. Looks like we will easily handle him next turn, but he may take Maria down and cost us another point of resolve before that. Yeah, he's going for her. She has a little bit of grit. She could dodge. She didn't dodge. But she could have dodged. Alright, well, that was not a spectacular run. We got some decent treasures. We got a fair number of treasure hunt tokens. But we also lost more resolve than I would like. I guess we did get a large number of tokens. Alright, so we take his captain's coat. And the captain's coat, unfortunately, is not a great treasure for our party. It will be a whole bunch of study tokens. I think this is the only thing that makes sense to take. But honestly, it's still not that good for us. We sure did get an awful lot of study tokens. It's just that it doesn't turn into all that much research, really. And then after it has turned into research, we don't really get all that much out of it. But we did get our 2 extra insight. I know that we're not going to get a chance to look at our research tree prior to deciding where we want to write our introduction letter. Which is unfortunate, because there is some possibility... Well, we would have to get 3 research papers done in order to write the research paper that allows us to spend insight in Asia. Oh man, we really did end up with a lot of research, though. That's gonna be enough, right? It must be. I want to look. 1135. Yeah, so I'm thinking that we maybe, I'm gonna say look at the wealth I amass. Yeah. So let's plus 100% more renown from gold. So I'm thinking that we don't have to send we don't have to send a letter of introduction to Asia. We can just do the research paper. But I really wish that I could look at the thing now and figure out if that's the best option, because there are other choices we could make here. I definitely want to be able to spend my insight in Asia. And if I didn't do that, then I would just be unlocking a new Entourage Hall in Rio, which we won't have the insight, or we won't have the status to take advantage of anyway. So no, I guess we do this with our letter of recommendation. We're at 300 research. Yeah, so we could have gone bartering, power of secrets, Asian wisdom, right? But art of bartering wouldn't do anything for us really, because I don't have the status to spare for the barterers. And power of secrets is actually just not very good for us. So actually, yeah, this would have been a really crummy plan. So what will we do with our research, though? Let's level Hattage up so we can get that done. Range of piercing shot is doubled when she's confident. That's a really powerful ability that has absolutely no application for our team. Or it just does double damage when it only has one target. Sounds fine. Sounds pretty good. Sorry, plus 100% power isn't actually double damage, because, you know, the way the percentages apply multiplicatively, and there's other additively, not multiplicatively, and other stuff's going on. But so we have enough to write probably 3 research papers, in the neighborhood of 3 research papers. So that could be like anthropology unlock, get a tool, get extra insight from performing studies, or get studies for performing insights rather. Or we could get extra encounter tokens in the final area. We could go to nature sciences and get plus stuff from research, or plus stuff from discovery tokens, and then discovery tokens whenever we find treasure. I mean, that's not that bad, because the discovery tokens do give a fair amount of gold. Yeah, they give like 40 to 50-ish gold with the upgrade. Plus 2 study when we're using our insight to perform collects. We don't actually have a level 3 athlete, but we could maybe. But the extra study tokens aren't going to add up to very much. I think we go this way. Yeah. So now every time we find a treasure, we get a treasure hunt and a discovery, both tokens which provide a fair amount of gold. Yeah, that seems right. Okay, let's figure this out. So we're going to have a lot of gold to work with by the end of this. So I want to take any specialist that's going to improve the payout of our tokens first. And it's going to be a treasure hunt and 4 collects. So I don't think I do want to do this, though. Even so, I think it's better for me to get plus gold from one of the other tokens. You are not a tough athlete, but you could become a tough athlete. Oh, the other thing I wanted to... Let's look at the secret shop. Because we might buy some of these things, and let's like make sure. It would not be a bad idea to get 4 levels of diplomat, probably. Is that feasible? She's at 37 speech defense. So we could probably get her to 60 pretty easily with a speech defense thing. We can pick up some archaeologists, but we're pretty good at that. I guess there's a concern, right, that if you... Oh, you can only own 1 epic trinket. Okay, it's not 1 epic trinket per character even, it's just you can only have 1. That's actually pretty interesting. You can pick up some epic boots. Rogue Mischief? It's a rogue she doesn't have. So how do these compare stat-wise? 40 grit, 30 of the other defenses, 10 attack power. How do these compare to, say, the legendary boots? Okay, they're only 150 gold more, and yeah, it's they have the same defensive stats. So we almost certainly want to do some of that. But basically, the reason I was looking at the secret shop was I wanted to see if I was going to end up picking up any perks that were going to potentially change anything about the way we spend insight. Or if they were going to affect the way we wanted to hire guys, right? Because we could potentially... No, I don't think any of this factors into our decision yet. So, first things first, let's get our insight spent. So let's buy our... So we don't need to do any of this yet. Because my thinking is we're going to end up acquiring a significant amount of... We should definitely do this. Oh no, I don't want to take research from collect tokens. We're not going to get enough research, right? What does the spend look like right now? Right now it looks like 12 to 22. That guy would add an average of 1.5 research per collect token, so 6 research here, giving us an average in the neighborhood of 23, I think, research? So 23 research actually. 23 research 15 times is definitely enough to get another research paper. But there's no situation where this matters. Right? Yeah, I don't think so. Which means that the research paper wouldn't be this one, it would be like unlock anthropology probably. Just because plus 4 to 6 research is some amount of renown, whereas nothing else we can buy will affect our renown. Also, I was saying, 23 research 15 times is totally enough to buy another research paper, but actually the cost is scaled up so much that I don't even think that's true. Okay, so the perks people have are not going to affect our spending of insight in any way. I feel confident that I have correctly verified that now. Oh, we want this. We extremely want this. Yeah. Let's do that. Sorry, this is what I want. Okay, yeah, we had to do that. That was definitely right. So now we're going to get a couple hundred status. A couple hundred. We're going to get like 1,500-ish status. So 1,500-ish status. Let's figure out how many specialists that actually means we're buying. It would be cool to get this guy, but I'm not 100% married to it. You can pick up a point of athlete, a point of engineer. She has that already, right? Yeah. But we can make Anna a wrestler. I'm sure athlete's going to come up. This is Turkey. So there's still this thing to think about. I'm trying to account for the status. So we probably want Madam Hammerhead and this guy. And that's going to account for the vast majority of the status right there. So basically what I was trying to do is figure out how much status we want to spend on specialists so that we can spend the rest on helpers as soon as it's available and get the maximum value out of our tokens. But I think we really want to just try to save a lot of it. Something about this animation it feels good. It feels good to watch it. So we're actually, I think, going to end up with less overall gold to work with than we had over the entire course of the last game. Because Minjong is really powerful and kind of a little broken. Somewhat broken. I would say mostly pretty broken. Yes, actually we probably can afford to hire a merchant, can't we? If we're expecting an average of like 110 status per pull, 8 more times, we'll end up at 1650-ish? And we need 1,400 to get the guys we really want. Okay, we should probably hold on to it all, though, because we might get lucky enough to hire one of these 200 guys as well, if variance is good. Oh, no, wait, we're very likely to get that. We're very likely to get that, and we should still be able to hire a merchant. Yeah, you know what? Let's not tempt the game. Because we could have hired a merchant, and it would have had a non-zero effect, right? We're going to get 6 collect tokens 8 more times at that point, but I would be putting myself in a position where maybe if the variance on the tokens went poorly, I wouldn't be able to get all the specialists that I want. So let's not tempt it. We'll just take what we have here. Oh my god, somebody's dog is going completely insane outside the window. It's very inconsiderate. Dog. So we did actually make it to 450. We made it to 450 with some despair. I am underestimating here. Well, the only thing that can have any effect at all is anthropology, right? I mean, we could do this and maybe be able to buy one or two of the barterers. Is that better than buying the specialists to give us perks? Actually, it might be. So we're going to get probably about 200... We're probably going to end up right about at 1650. Now, let's just take the small amount of extra renown. And it really is a small amount of renown per encounter token. Because I think I would rather have the perks, a slightly better chance to pass rolls in the final expedition, than the 1 or maybe 2 points of supplies I would be able to afford to buy. Okay, so... oops, this is the wrong one. You are extremely hired. We will find booty deviously. In my experience, that is the way it's usually done. Oh, you know what? I wasn't factoring in the upgrade costs here. We actually do not have a lot of headroom on that. Naturalist Geology. You have that already. I did want to get her to level 6 Naturalist. It would be nice if she was. We might be able to figure it out. Actually, she's getting Geology from an item. So if we sold the pickaxe and bought a different Naturalist item, we could get there. What item would that be? She have chemistry. She does not have chemistry. So we could buy her this and get another point of engineer over the crew. I apparently feel very strongly about engineering. She definitely has advanced tools. We could buy her... there's a thing here that has a level of engineering on it somewhere, right? Steam engines. Her speech defense is her highest defense already. I would tend to want to buy her armor. Yeah, I don't know. This doesn't seem great to me. Let's check the other shops real quick. I feel like engineer is always the one I have trouble getting. Or wait, what am I talking? Engineer. I'm trying to get naturalist. SB, straighten up. Come on, man. Focus. It's hard to focus. The dogs drive me crazy. So the armor is... the defensive item that gives naturalist is armor, but it's electromagnetics, which she already has. It's one of her starting perks. Shoot. So a point of... there are other points of naturalist available, though. Electromagnetics, okay. Maybe there aren't other points of naturalist available, actually. Astronomy. Nope, she got that from that event. Yeah, that's a shame. That would be a good item for her. It fits well into our thing here. There's got to be a level of engineer or of naturalist somewhere. Classical physics? Okay. So let's get rid of this. We'll get her some calipers. And then we will hire that dude. James Cook, a seasoned miner, will teach her geology. It's like having a pickaxe in your mind. Okay, so now we have a level 6 naturalist and a level 6 engineer. This is very well suited to the what do you call it? The Lost Island. Lost Island. Okay, so we have 5,000 more gold to work with. And we did end up with 100 loose status. Which is probably just like 2 merchants, or it could be a merchant and a trader. Because I don't have anybody left to hire who only has 100 cost. Yeah, even the cheapest ones are 150. I think I'll probably end up with more collect tokens than encounter tokens. Is that sensible? Yeah, that's probably right. Okay. So now let's just spend our money. So, we want to definitely buff up people's offenses a little bit. The final adventure is difficult. It'll be a lot easier if you never get attacked, because the enemies are dead before they can attack you. So let's go for a Legendary Book of Sadness here, because Maria really gets benefit out of mega saddening people. We have 4,000 left. It would be 2,700 to get both of them legendary books. Although I guess I get to sell their old books for 350. So that'll leave us at like 1,700. We'll be able to buy a really good defensive item and then just kind of outfit Anna with whatever's left. That's fine. I really do think focusing on offense is a good move here. Okay, so let's sell these. Get her Rogue Mischief. And also some great stats. Man, 82, 83. Pretty okay. And then this will allow us to buy a slightly better bit of armor. So we can't get to 700, unfortunately. No, this wouldn't sell us to 700 either. So we could get her some master armor. Honestly, we'd probably give Maria some master armor, because Anna's defensive stats are way better. So it's something like this. And that leaves you with 120 gold. And nothing really to do with it, I don't think. I don't think I want to do anything crazy. We could drop the compass for something a little bit more powerful. Compass sells for 75, so we'd just be just south of 200. So is there anything that costs 150 that seems like it's a really good buy for her? 100 or 150? We ended up not having any levels of diplomat at the end of the game, which is unusual for me. Rogue Sneaking. Does she have sneaking? She does. Okay, so I guess the answer is no. I think we just have 121 extra gold. Yeah, alright, looks like. Well, I think that is going to be it then. We're not in nearly as powerful a position as we were last time, but still not bad. And I think we're pretty well suited to the particular challenges of the Lost Island. So, come back next time. We're going to give these anti-explorers what for. And we'll see you then.